Where are the best places to eat and drink in Glasgow?
I'm dead over those scallops.
Today we're spending 24 hours eating across the city, from breakfast all the way to drinks, at places locals actually love, not just the top spots on TripAdvisor. Because after our time in Edinburgh, we kept hearing, if you really want Scotland's coolest food scene, you have to go to Glasgow. So we're testing everything from a cult favorite brunch to sandwiches locals swear are worth any price, all the way to a modern dinner that might change how you see Scottish food. And at the end of the day, we're heading to one of the city's most iconic whiskey bars to see if Glasgow can turn me from a whiskey hater into a whiskey lover.
Yeah, you're smelling pretty good. I'm impressed.
Starting with the locals' favorite breakfast. Our first breakfast stop is Cafe Strange Brew.
If you love a good foodie Instagram pic, you want to come here. They have built quite a cult following across the city. People will travel all across Glasgow just to come have brunch here. And they're known for their wild, over-the-top brunch creations that are also very beautiful.
Look at this harissa hummus toast. We got spicy harissa, we got halloumi cheese, we got runny eggs, and then we got pomegranates and pickled radish and onion and... Sounds a bit wild. I think I'm gonna be into it. I don't even know how to tackle this.
It's like shaking the whole table.
It's like hitting me with that like Middle Eastern spice, a little bit of that creamy harissa. I wasn't sure if it's all gonna come together, but man, oh man, it comes together. Then we tried their version of a breakfast sandwich with chili jam, spicy Nuja sausage, and black pudding.
That's delicious. Lots and lots of flavor. It's really, really good.
That was definitely a 10 out of 10 worth coming out of the city center for. So we gotta get breakfast number 2, baby. The next stop is TANTRUM Doughnuts. This is one of the most hyped bakeries in all of Glasgow, and they have locations all over the city. This city is known for being creative, and that's what Tantrum's Doughnuts does. They've got creative toppings, fillings, and flavors, and they're known for using local ingredients and being small batch. It's sweeter than the average breakfast, but everybody loves a donut. Oh my gosh, these donuts look incredible. Look at that. So the lovely donut shop woman told us that the creme brulee is their best seller, most iconic donut. Crispy shell, filled with cream. Kind of burnt. No. The donut is like literally like a pillow. Like I want to sleep in this donut. Burnt sugar top. It is truly creme brulee in donut form. I see why it's their best seller. Wow.
Now that it's like half eaten, that top makes a difference.
It does.
It's so crunchy.
So this beast is apples, glaze, cinnamon sugar, old-fashioned donut, which is my absolute favorite. Caleb and I actually broke an old-fashioned donut instead of cutting cake for our wedding. It is dense. Little bits of bursty cinnamon sugar apple, crunchy, crispy cinnamon sugar top. I think donuts may literally have forever been ruined. I don't think I'm gonna share. No breaking donuts today.
There's no way you're eating that thing. It's huge.
For lunch, we're gonna do both ends of the spectrum. A hidden local cafe sit down, and now a grab and go sandwiches that apparently you can barely fit in your hands here at DEANSTON Bakery. Both local places that we went for breakfast confirm that you have to visit DEANSTON. It's kind of a hidden gem, known for their sandwiches, cinnamon rolls, and cardamom buns, and the perfect place to grab and go so we can get back to the city center for our lunch. I'm trying to see them without like sandwich limbo. Can we do one of the chicken chimichurri sandwiches, please? I hope you're hungry, because we went a little crazy. Good thing we're eating this in a little bit and we have a walk first. Nothing like walking towards city center with a backpack of sandwiches to feel like a local. So they're famous for their chicken sandwiches, and we got their chimichurri chicken sandwich. Look at the size of this sandwich. This is massive. It's as big as my face. Been trying to
I don't know what that's saying about the sandwich or your face.
Let's move along, because I also don't know what this means either.
I think each of those halves is a sandwich.
Like, actually, this is a sharer, for sure.
That bread, like you could taste that it was freshly baked. It's like pillowy soft on the inside and then crunchy. And then that chimichurri, it's like popping you in the face with flavor.
It does punch you in the mouth. Really good.
Yeah, it was worth the trek outside the city center. I think I'm about one bite of a cinnamon roll away from a carb coma. And good thing I have a whole cinnamon roll in my hands. I want the center, so I'm gonna be a psycho and just do this.
This is like a crime.
Feels soft.
Oh.
A little frosting. Gooey soft, cinnamon sweet, little glaze on top. I do see that they're worth the hype. Oh, good.
The center's always the best part, so what'd you leave me?
The outside.
It's good. I mean, the outside's good. I have no idea what the inside tastes like.
That is exactly the kind of place we love showing you, because the main mission of our channel is to help you eat like a local and avoid the tourist traps. So if that's your vibe, hit subscribe. Now let's go walk it off to the next lunch. After tackling those monster sandwiches, it's time to slow down and do something a little different, and this stop might be the most unexpected of the day. Deep down a dark Reddit thread, I found the wild olive tree, and the locals swear by their amazing scones and homemade soups. This place is hiding inside St. George Tron's church, but don't think it's about just serving up good food. Every single penny here goes to help the homeless, so you're eating good and doing good at the same time. Inside, we're surrounded by locals, so I think we're in for something good. Here they serve a couple options for soups and a couple options for scones, both sweet or savory, whatever you prefer. We went savory with a sunflower seed and caramelized onion. And for soup, we did courgette or zucchini, whatever you want to call it, and lemon. Let's try it with this scone. It's like the UK version of bun with your soup. That's a perfect scone texture. It's fluffy but dense. I love that little crispy sunflower seed. I love that with that refreshing soup. It's a simple, savory, delicious lunch. If you're looking to save a buck and get a heartwarming, rich, comforting meal, this is a place to be. But pro tip, they don't start serving soup until 12, and they close at 4:30, and we got here at 2:30 on a weekday, and we already got their last bowl of soup. So if you want to get in early. Love finding local spots like that in the heart of a big city. So far, we've kept our eats more laid back and casual, but for dinner, it's a clash of the icons. Later, we'll be taking you to a cozy, more traditional Scottish restaurant. But first up, we're going to a local institution loved by the locals and the Michelin guide, STRAVAIGIN, known for doing modern, trendy twists on Scottish food. The word STRAVAIGIN comes from an old Scottish word which means to wander aimlessly. It's pretty much every food guide says you could wander wherever the heck you want, as long as you end up right here. STRAVAIGIN is known for really trying to push Scottish food forward, using local ingredients, but with some global influence, and still trying to keep that cozy pub vibe. So we had to start super traditional, like the most feared dish, the national dish, haggis. We tried to make it look sexy for you, but sexy haggis spin. You can only do so much with this. So this is peasant food. It started when they really wanted to stretch their meat back in the day. So they took sheep or lamb offal. Yes, this is organs. They ground them down. They mix it with spices to try to make it taste better. And then they cooked it for a long time with some barley so it kind of emulsified.
About a typical day to make, I'd say like over 24 hours.
And then they serve it traditionally with neeps and tatties, which is basically turnips and potatoes. And we're gonna eat it. Yay. I think I might have committed too much, but we're in Scotland, baby.
It's gonna be delicious.
My brain's processing. You know, I actually kind of like it.
That was so anticlimactic.
I know. It's just, it's like delicious mush. Is that okay to say?
I'm with the flavor. It's kind of like sticking around in my mouth.
I told you STRAVAIGIN does like global, I feel like I have haggis in my teeth, sorry. So I said STRAVAIGIN does global influences, and that is represented in this next dish. We have a spanakopita. We're expecting crispy outside and feta cheese and spinach on the inside. But they add a little bit of a Cajun, West African dipping sauce. That is honestly the best banana cookie I've ever had. And that dipping sauce, I know it's Cajun and spicy, but it's a little bit sweet. That's incredible. I really like that. We gotta come here and get Hispanic copita, baby. Never thought I'd say that in Scotland. So if you're looking for traditional but modern, now you know where to go. But if you want traditional, don't worry, we got somewhere to take you to. Let's go. Nestled right in the heart of Glasgow city centre is ARDNAMURCHAN. It's all about bringing Scotland's wildest, freshest ingredients to a plate. Literally. ARDNAMURCHAN is named after one of the most remote regions in all of Scotland, and the menu reads like a literal love letter to the country. This is Jean-Marc, the general manager here at ARDNAMURCHAN. Tell us about the restaurant. What's the concept?
Classic Scottish dishes with a twist. We get our venison straight from ARDNAMURCHAN estate, our oysters, our scallops, our lamb is all sourced from the islands and highlands of Scotland.
It's not quite the same for the staff.
Actually, Sean is the only Scottish person in this kitchen. Shawnee is the only guy.
And we consider that very well-rounded. It's not just their food. Even their cocktails are local Scotland. And we love that for them and us. First up, I don't even know I should eat this. It's so beautiful. Almost too beautiful to eat, but you can't go to Scotland without trying seafood, specifically scallops. Scallops in Scotland are like the creme de la creme, right?
Yeah, marshmallows of the sea.
So, we're diving in. Get it? Like the ocean. I'm skinning my scallop now and pretend that never happened. So we got scallops, creamy sauce.
We've got some black garlic emulsion, a little sweet mustard dressing, and then this is a dehydrated scallop and bacon crumb.
It is glistening. Wow, I'm dead over those scallops.
That scallop's amazing.
Change your life.
It was so salty.
Makes you rethink every scallop you've ever had in your life. Next up, we have the lamb rump, which is from the best place in Scotland to get lamb, apparently. It's got a little bit of mint topping and gravy, which is a unique combination, but who am I to question the chef? Check that out. It's rich and gamey, but that mint jelly just kind of cuts through it all and freshens it all up. It's exactly what I feel like Scotland should be on a plate. Bold, fresh, and wild. This is a local Scottish goat cheese salad. Wow. If you think you don't like beets, I dare you to try this. Well, Scottish food is sorted. Caleb?
Is it whiskey time?
It's whiskey time. That makes one of us. Well, I don't know what's gonna kill me first. All the food we just ate, I feel like it needs to roll me down this road, or the pot still.
No.
This place.
It's going to be magic in your belly.
Caleb would have a magical time, but this is a place where we're gonna see if I learn to like whiskey, because it's been a Scottish institution since the 1800s, and they have over 1,000 whiskeys here. So Caleb said,
This looks amazing.
I wish you could see Caleb's face right now. It looks like I kid on Christmas.
Smiling. I'm happy. So let's go drink some whiskey right now.
He is whiskey fan, and I want to drink with him. Do you think you have something for me?
Yeah, I'll bring some options out for you and see what you like.
Okay,
So,
awesome. There we go. I don't know, something like gin-ish.
Okay. All right. Challenge accepted.
this was actually one of the first whiskeys that I ever drank because my dad had a bottle in Huggins. It'll smell sort of maybe light notes of honey on there.
Yeah, I do smell honey. Wow, actually, that smells good.
Then I brought you Glencadden 10, which is a Highland whiskey. This is bourbon cask finish. It's sweeter, you'll get maybe notes of vanilla, orchard fruits on there.
Okay, yeah, you're smelling pretty good.
And then
I'm impressed.
this one won the Whiskey of the Year at the World Whiskey Awards this year.
Okay.
Whiskey number one.
I'm honest, like I'm fairly scared. It smells pretty good. I don't hate it.
Hey, that's good enough.
One step closer.
I don't hate it. I don't love
I'll
it.
bring you a little to the water.
Okay. I don't hate it. I'm not a convert. I'm thinking about getting a gin, but it's not terrible. Well, I tried, but it's a good thing I'm going to be the DD. We make our whiskey video. Caleb's going to party.
It's so good. Like, I'm in heaven. Whiskey heaven.
Because I got me a gin. Whiskey is my enemy.
Fail.
You said you like classic strength stuff earlier.
Yeah.
Would you like to be quite shandy? And then would you get something richer or lighter?
Richer.
Richer.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll give you these three. It's £10.75 for a dram, if that's all right with you.
£10 for a wee little dram. I love that. Oh my gosh, that smells so good.
Sweet espresso. Do you want it with lemon?
Yes. Getting to know you. I think I like you. Is it getting weird?
Yeah, just drink the freaking thing, you weirdo.
Hello.
Oh, come on.
You okay?
It's like caramel, toffee, amazingness, like warmth in my belly. You need to go here.
It's not about trendy or traditional. It's about finding the restaurants and dishes that really feel like Glasgow. And today, I think we did that. But finding great food in Glasgow was just the start. The real challenge is taking on Scotland's wildest, most traditional dishes across the whole country. So click here to watch our Scotland foodie road trip, and if it's not live, you'll see a different video until it is.